I think was the key mistake that lost them that game.
Yeah, definitely, and I don't blame them for going for the cap. You want to ensure that win, especially game point on the line for MAHOU. SIMP has to do all that they can do to come back here. SIMP going to be bringing a 50B, 4 E100s, 4 IS4s, 2 IS7s, a Batchat E3, and the Waffentrager E100 coming out of Executus. We haven't seen that since Foxy, so we'll have to check on board with that TD combo wombo and see what they're going to be up to. But MAHOU bringing 2 50Bs, an E100, 5 215Bs, 2 IS4s, 2 IS7s, a 140, and a Conqueror gun carriage.
It's a lot of Russian heavies here from SIMP, going a little bit old school with the IS4, IS7 sort of combination. From MAHOU, we're seeing a much more sort of new age, I'd guess, sort of lineup with a bunch of 215Bs, a couple of 50Bs, and then some Russian heavies just to sort of support that. MAHOU opting to use a CGC on attack, which I quite like.
Now, with that CGC,
with
we've seen teams that will sit that CGC in round roughly H0, G0. He's going to be able to get shots on the C3 window. Now, it doesn't look like many players are going to be hanging out there, as Pyro should be able to get a shot off, maybe one more. Euro going to be taking a few shots, and he's going to get the information that he needs to know that, hey, there's quite a few guys over here. But MAHOU, they have the overmatch in this situation, as 4 players from SIMP have the potential to get caught out here. They need to play this kind of aggressive and passive at the same time. They need to know where the tanks from MAHOU are, and once they find out, they need to get out of there, because the potential here to take out a bunch of HP for the SIMP players would really hurt them on defense, as Pyro's going to be sneaking around here. He's going to find just an absolute ton of MAHOU players, and they're moving towards him. This is not good. Get that tree out of my way, baby. Pyro going to be taking quite a few shots to the face. He's going to find out where all the MAHOU players are. Peekaboo, baby. They're coming through. 50Bs, IS4s. Now the potential for the 2 IS7s to get caught out here. But the IS4 of Kauai going to be taking a lot of damage, just crossing, already knocked down to 18% as we've seen him take 4 shots.
Now, this is going to be important, Rat. SIMP is just rushing across the courtyard because they need to get over there to support their guys, and now they're going to suffer for that. There's 250Bs that are sitting up on the hill, and the 215B that's up there, they're going to absolutely wreck J-Smooth and Canada as they try and cross it.
Yes, as what you're saying here, the 50Bs on the hill, not quite close enough yet, but we'll have shots on the backside of these SIMP heavies that are pushing in. We see the 215B bouncing off the top of J-Smooth. J-Smooth might be able to escape. Oh, he's going to take a track shot, though. So, J-Smooth kind of surviving the hill fire, but it's not looking good for some of these SIMP players, as the rest of MAHOU's moving down that one line. Now, SIMP having the 2 E100s and the E3 up in the north there. They're going to be able to apply some pressure and save most of the heavies. But SIMP needs to regroup these guys and mount up a good effort to push south, while four vehicles from MAHOU are trapped on the hill. We're going to see some cap pressure.
Trying to go for the cap. This is a bad idea. You've got
it's a bad idea, but Stuka has a good idea. Stuka going to be dying for the IS4. That's going to be a huge wall that Wally can hide behind. Wally needs to pick up this kill, though, on Pub Whisper. Pub Whisper going down. Not going to be able to apply any cap pressure there for the reset, but Flak just hanging out in that G3. And Chase Potato fighting down here in the south. He's taking on 2 IS4s. Gonna pay for it, though, dearly, as he's knocked down to 28%. And Canada Duck is gonna be coming down the K line. Gonna be picking up that kill on Chase. Chase not able to hide himself in time. We have the Artie Shell coming down, landing on Mac G. That's gonna help the 2 MAHOU players down here. But 50 seconds left on the cap. Wally's finally gonna get reset, as 3K, 4K lead up for SIMP, and leading by 1 gun. Wally's still going for the cap, knowing that Flak is there. Flak doesn't have to put pressure on him just yet. Minute 30 on cap, as the IS4s of SIMP will be applying the pressure on Wally. Wally has to get out there before getting knocked out. almost 5k HP lead right now for SIMP. Now, Allurai, in your opinion, what happened there to throw this game in SIMP's favor? As we've seen MAHOU with a very strong push in the south, and it just kind of stalled out at the end of the tracks. SIMP being up 4k HP.
I think the tank selection for MAHOU sort of let them down a little bit there. Had those 50Bs that were on the hill been like E5s or 215Bs that were able to sustain fire, they would have been much more effective than the 50Bs that fired off their clip urgently as the SIMP tanks were in the way. But then they sat there reloading when SIMP was at their most vulnerable. You know, the autoloader is very good burst damage, but very poor sustained DPM. I would have preferred that MAHOU had not gone to the hill at all. Maybe just one medium to make sure that the Artie is okay, but committing 3 heavy tanks up there I think was a little bit of a folly. Also going after the cap, they threw away the E100 to create a barrier. They then left the IS-4 sitting there on cap with his butt pointing at the majority of the SIMP forces that were coming through the G-line. I think that was a really big mistake for them. You know, they had the position on the one line where, had they kept pushing north and been able to isolate those SIMP tanks that were in the north, all of their support was coming across the courtyard, and MAHOU knew this, and instead of you know, taking out the isolated guys, they just sort of waited for SIMP to consolidate, and then from there SIMP was able to ball it back out and take the victory.
Yep, as MAHOU players,
very good reactionary play from SIMP coming through.
Now MAHOU players still playing the game obviously, but they're definitely going to be talking in their team speak, you know, talking about what can they do for next map, what went wrong here, what they can improve on. As just buying some time, 1 minute 40 left. But SIMP coming in here to clean up the game. Nogmort's going for the shot, does not land it, but it's going to take quite a few shots in the back as the CGC was able to get one off on him. SIMP trying to clean this game up without, you know, throwing it. So Jacob gonna get taken out in the back from Bubble across the map in that D5 window. Should be fair game for Tomio and the IS-4 of MACG. But yeah, they definitely, you know, got to figure out what's been going on Himmelsdorf, as they're very dominant on Tundra. SIMP showing us their Himmelsdorf play is top tier.
Oh,
so
come
Nog
on, Reptile.
Going down.
Reptile, the game's over. Drive up to the wall, point your gun at the wall, splash yourself to death. I just want to get to the next game. This game has been over for like 2 minutes. God damn it, Reptile. Faster. This doesn't need to be Wiggler. We don't need to draw it out for another 30 seconds for the sake of shits and giggles. Come on. Dude, I feel like a 12-year-old like whiny girl that wants a Barbie from the toy shop. You know, it's just like, come on, I can't wait another minute.
Or when you go to like the bank and get her out. Like you go to the bank and the teller hands you a lollipop, and you're like, yes, success. But then she gives you a terrible flavor and you want a new one, and then you're like, come on.
Come on.
There's a couple seconds left here. Reptile just driving around, sporting those 2 kills. So game number 6 going to SIMP on Himmelsdorf.
So, you know, MAHOU with the clean sweep of Tundra going up 4-0, then I imagine, you know, it's probably not too much of a stretch to see SIMP going 4-0 on Himmelsdorf, which will take us to the tiebreaker, which I believe is Veronica. Probably should go and check the forums for that. I'm like 90